How's it going, guys? Welcome to another video. Today I'm going to talk about if Scream 6 can be better than Scream 4. I really like doing these random comparisons and seeing, what it's going to take for a newer movie to overtake an earlier movie. I did that with Halloween Ends and some of the movies from the Halloween franchise, so I think it's a lot of fun, and let's see if we can come up with a good idea of what we think Scream 6 is going to be like. So, first of all, obviously the most important thing in a Scream movie, for me, maybe not the most important, but one of the most important things, the opening. Can the opening to Scream 6 top the opening to Scream 4? Now, aside from the original, because that's just in a league of its own, for me, the Scream 4 opening is the best. The Scream 5 opening was very, very, very mild. It was exactly what you would expect from a Scream movie, but I have some major problems with it. First of all, the technology was not up to date. They were using like a landline, like they were doing that in Scream 4. And also, nobody even died in the opening. I think I'm pretty sure they didn't die. Anyway, the Scream 4 opening was such an amazing opening. They had an ultra meta twist to it all. There were like 2 or 3 twists. I mean, it starts with a couple of girls talking, getting scared, and then it goes boom, stab 6. And then there's some other girls talking. By the way, really hot girls. That's important for horror movies. And then they're doing their whole thing, and they're talking about meta stuff and everything, and then the one girl stabs the other one, and then it goes boom, stab 7. And then you finally get the real opening, which is 2 girls getting calls from Ghostface and everything. And Ghostface in Scream 4, the voice was so good. He was smart, he was funny, and he was scary. And that's so important. In some of the Scream movies, he's just not that scary, or at least in some parts of the Scream movies. But in Scream 4, he was vicious all the way through and just extremely mean. That's important. And then obviously in Scream 4, people actually die in the opening. And there's like a lot of people that die in the opening, so it's very important. So Scream 6 has to get that right if it wants to be better than Scream 4, because Scream 5 was not as good as Scream 4. I'm just gonna say it straight up, it was not. At least the opening wasn't. Scream 4 is my favorite sequel. But yeah, there has to be stakes. That has to happen in the opening of any Scream movie. There has to be stakes. In Scream 5, there were no stakes. They did it wrong. They totally did it wrong. I mean, I'm not going to say it wasn't cool to see someone survive for the first time, basically. But I just think it was a huge missed opportunity. They were gone for a long time. They could have came back with a bang like Scream 4 did. I mean, before Scream 4, there wasn't a Scream movie for what, like 10 or 11 years? So they had the same opportunity with Scream 5 and they blew it, in my opinion. So Scream 6 has to make it right. They have to make it right. So I hope they do something really cool like Scream 4 did. They're gonna have to try to do something that's not expected, that just blows your mind like Scream 4 did. Anyway, aside from the opening, how are the characters going to be? In Scream 5, the characters were boring. They were not that likable, the new characters. Obviously, the legacy characters were fine, especially Dewey. But in Scream 4, the entire cast was likable. Every single cast member was entirely likable, except for maybe a few people, but what I'm saying is that they were all interesting. They all had a unique story to tell, a unique perspective, a unique character. It was well acted. It was a lot of fun. In Scream 5, the actors were not that exciting. They weren't that interesting. There's a few exceptions, but overall, doesn't even hold a candle to Scream 4. The supporting cast has to be top notch. They need to have interesting characters. They have to make up for what they did with Scream 5 and Scream 6 if it wants to be better than Scream 4. Now, I realize they might not be wanting to be better than Scream 4 because some people don't like Scream 4. But this is just a fun comparison video. Now, next, the kills. Scream 4 had some pretty good kills and a lot of suspenseful moments with Ghostface. Now, to me, the Ghostface in Scream 5 was really, really, really good. From the costume to the kills, everything like that. I mean, the kills were a little bit, the same after a while. It's all just kind of stabs and stuff like that, and it's like that in Scream 4 too. So hopefully with Scream 6 it will be a little bit different, but you never know. And the thing is, they just have to make sure that Ghostface stays scary and that he's terrifying and crazy and just psycho. I mean, Scream 4 has probably, in my opinion, the craziest killer of all, which is, I can't remember her name in the movie, but Emma Roberts. She was the craziest Ghostface killer in a long time. She was absolutely insane. She wasn't afraid to do anything. I mean, she turned on her accomplice at the very end. I mean, she was brutal. She was ruthless. So I hope Scream 6 can do something similar to that. And I do think, I'm not sure, there's lots of rumors, but I do think that Scream 6 has a chance to be better than Scream 4 if they bring back someone like Stu from the original. That would blow the roof off of everything. That would be amazing. That would be insane. But they got to do it in a good way if they're going to do it. So we'll see. And one thing I really like that I'm seeing from Scream 6 is that it appears like there's going to be new masks, or at least one new mask, and that is very exciting. That's something that Scream 4 didn't do. Another thing is that it seems like Scream 6 is going to take place in Manhattan, in New York. At least a lot of it will. Now, they have to do it right, though. We don't need another Jason takes a boat ride to Manhattan. If you're going to go to New York as a slasher movie, they have got to redeem the slasher genre from Jason Takes Manhattan. They got to do it right. And it has the potential. I mean, putting Scream in a new setting, Ghostface in a new setting, a setting like New York especially, it has the potential to be really cool and very memorable. But it's going to be very hard. It's going to be something new and different. So I'm not even sure that Scream 6 and Scream 4 are going to be comparable at the end of the day. But I really want Scream 6 to be better than Scream 4, because I was really disappointed in Scream 5, and Scream 4 has so many good things about it. I mean, it is an epic movie. They have an all-star cast. I mean, they have Emma Roberts, Hayden Panettiere. They have, what's his name? Rory Culkin. They have the girl from Community. They have Anthony Anderson. The bottom line is they have a huge all-star cast because it was an event. It felt like an event. It felt like a Hollywood event. I mean, Scream is a huge horror franchise. They can get the stars. So I really hope they do that. That is something that really helps Scream 4. Another thing they need to do is make sure that Ghostface is not that easy to guess. A lot of people claim that Scream 5, it was very easy to guess the killers. For me, it wasn't, but maybe I'm just dumb. No, but they need to make sure that it's, you know, that it's very well hidden and that it's not completely obvious, because that definitely hurts people's views of the movies. So for me, the killers in Scream 4, I was totally not expecting them. So I mean, maybe one of them, maybe Rory Culkin's character, but I was not expecting Emma Roberts for whatever reason. So I hope they do a good job of keeping it mysterious. Another area where Scream 6 is going to have a hard time topping Scream 4, in my opinion, is the meta aspect. Now, there's going to be a meta aspect in every Scream movie, but in my opinion, Scream 4 has done it the best of all the Scream movies, except maybe the first one. But the whole meta part about all the stab movies and everything in Scream 4 was great. They did them, and then the opening had a ton of meta. It was a lot of fun. And then you have what I noticed recently when rewatching it is at some point, Gail is talking to Dewey and she mentions something about being meta, and he's like, what does that mean? And so it's great because they're hiding the fact that they're trying to be meta in the movie, so it's like ultra meta. It's amazing. Now, Scream 5 had a pretty good meta angle, but I think that Scream 6 is going to have to top Scream 5 in the meta department, because Scream 5 did not top the Scream 4 meta for me. So we'll see what they're going to do. Are they going to go meta in that, you know, how horror movies sometimes they take the characters to a new location, like in Jason Takes Manhattan? I'm not sure, but it's going to be interesting to see. Also, they're going to have to make it funny. Scream 5 was somewhat funny, but not really that funny. Scream 4 is extremely funny. It's one of the funniest since Scream 2, I think. And so they're going to have to make it funny. That is a huge part of a Scream movie. So anyway, I'm very excited for Scream 6. The teaser trailer we got, for me, was extremely cool, extremely interesting. I'm extremely hyped for this movie. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait for it. Also, if you want to test your Scream trivia knowledge, I have a couple videos where I go and play some Scream Sporkle quizzes. So go and watch those. They're a lot of fun. See if you can do better than me, which you probably will. Anyway, subscribe to the channel if you like horror content like this. I do a bunch of it, and I also make a lot of music, type videos. It's a lot of fun, so make sure you subscribe. And remember the rules to horror movies. There's a formula. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Adios.